All right, what's up, everybody? Live. Got about 45 minutes. I want to jump on, see if anybody would comment or want to discuss live, debate live, post a comment. I'll respond to it. So that's what I'm going to be doing. In the meantime, I'm going to be answering some questions or some comments that I got. So let's do that. Let us do that. Let's go Armand. It's a big, long one. Okay, let's post this one. I'm on CarPlay. That should work. Maybe I can't do that. There we go. Got it. Can I bring this on? All right, here we go. All right, Armand 82638. We know that the deer did nothing wrong. It just got unlucky by crossing our path. How unfortunate for the deer. Humans have been the apex predator to deer for thousands of years. Taking away that predation from that population would then lead to them being managed via painful disease and starvation. Here's where I problem with this. Number one, the deer did nothing wrong. I think this in itself is, what are we taught when we're growing up? What are we taught that the good thing to do is that like we don't want to do things to others that we don't want done to ourselves. So imagine, people just walking around and they did nothing wrong, and then boom, they get shot, they get taken out. And that happens. That certainly happens in the wrong place at the wrong time. But for what reason? What reason are we doing it? So the deer did nothing wrong. This how I know we're doing the wrong thing. The deer did nothing wrong. So why are we killing it? So it just got unlucky. That's just, we're going to chalk this up as the deer is unlucky. But at the same time, we're saying that would then lead to be managed via painful disease and starvation. So at the same time, he's saying that we're doing a good thing because if we don't kill the deer is going to suffer via disease or starvation that's a painful thing. So why do we get to decide that, though? That's what I want to know. Hey, if you're joining, if you drop a comment. Ooh, I got to grab French bread, garlic bread for dinner. All right, so I got some chores to do after this. Little grocery run. I'm waiting for my son. He gets out at 6:45, so I got about 45 minutes or so. So I wanted to jump on, answer some questions, and respond to some comments. But if you are interested in coming on, drop a comment. I will respond to it. But in the meantime, responding to Armand 82638. So the deer did nothing wrong, just got unlucky by crossing our path, meaning the hunters. And the humans have been apex predator to deer for thousands of years. Again, this is 2026, so let's not go back thousands of years. Why go back thousands of years? It's 2026. We don't need to do that anymore. We don't need to be the apex predator for deers. And then just because taking away that predation from the population would then lead to them being managed via painful disease and starvation. And he said he'd rather have more natural population management. And I don't think there's nothing natural. There's nothing natural about hunting. There's nothing natural about that. Like, we're not doing that. That's not natural. Now, what is natural, if coyotes, wolves, if other predators in the wild are killing the deer? Sure, it's not. I mean, it's not pleasant to think about, but it's certainly not pleasant to be shot and killed with a weapon. I mean, this is what these deer do. I mean, and so we don't just. It's not for us to decide like, oh, that deer, we're going to kill that deer and try to instantly kill that deer, so that I'm actually doing it a good thing because it's going to starve when it gets old age, or it's going to be eaten alive by a predator. I mean, like, would you want that chance to be taken away from you? You know, it is survival of the fittest out there. So let them do that. Let them go and do that. It's not for us to decide. So I'd rather have the more natural population management method. Again, no, it's not humans have been hunting deer for thousands. That's not natural. That's not natural for us. We have weapons. We sit in trees with camouflage. There's nothing natural about that. Natural, again, is talking about, starvation, or being hunted by other predators that are natural for them to kill and eat. Right? That's their survival mechanism. And so for us to do that is certainly not natural, and it's certainly not necessary. So, we just get to decide. Hunters think that they're doing a good thing for the population management because we've been doing it for thousands of years. And just because we've done it for thousands of years doesn't make it moral, doesn't make it right to continue to do. So there's that. All right. So then I ask, is it necessary for you to shoot and kill these animals? So Armand, this might be a two-part response here. So let me save this, and let me send this here. I don't know if there's a better way to do this. Show in the finder. Good. I'm gonna bring it in here. Okay. So I want to take this one away. Let's go ahead and answer this. So, absolutely necessary. Number one, as a tool to ethically manage populations. So first, a tool to ethically manage populations. How is that ethic? How is that ethically? How is that humane? to kill an animal that doesn't need to die. So again, we're thinking about managed populations. Ethically managing populations, we can certainly shoot them with a tranquilizer gun or a gun or a dart that would then make them not populate. So we can eliminate their population, right? That's just one idea. But to shoot and kill them, that's really not, there's nothing ethically about that. And number two, acting as management tool as a predator. Humans have been again, he said the same thing, deer's apex predator for thousands of years. Just because we've been doing it for thousands of years doesn't mean that we need to continue it. Doesn't mean that it's the right thing to do. Taking away that predation leads them to starving to death in the wild and getting terrible diseases like chronic wasting disease as methods of managing the population, which are not natural at these rates and cause herd decline. Burning, hunting hurts a deer population. The Sierra Nevada deer herd completely overpopulated and started starving to death. I mean, again, certainly not necessary, or not, not a good thing for the deer to be starving to death, but that's out of our control. That's out of our control. We don't need to go and shoot and kill these animals. So, I haven't heard anything that, let's see here, okay? And then now, where am I at? Started starving to death. So let me let's go ahead and add this. Uh-oh, can I not share no more? There we go. All right. So here's the second part of his comment here. Starving to death after they ban hunting on them. Okay, so which is why they had to allow hunting. Also find it disgusting to buy meat from the grocery store because those animals were tortured their entire life. There's another reason why it's necessary. So you don't have to rely on tortured carcasses. All right, first of all, I don't think Armand 82638, there's no way that you get all of your meat from hunting. Very few people do that. Very few people do that. And number one, you don't need to eat meat whatsoever. You don't need to rely. It's not necessary for you to eat meat in the first place. So you don't need to rely on tortured carcasses. You can rely on plants. So again, I haven't heard any reason that it's necessary to eat animals. Hey, if you're watching this, you drop a comment, I'll post, I'll respond to it. Also, if you want to come on live, I'll have a discussion with you, answer some questions. Still looking for my first discussion of the year, 2026. If I already had that, I might have already had that this year. I'm not sure. But I'm looking for my next one. Want to do more this year. All right, but right now I'm responding to Armand 82638 in his comment here. Wanted to give him, he did not want to come on live. He didn't want to come on my channel and talk about it. So here I'm responding to him here in his comments. So I have not heard any reason on why, or it's showing me that it's necessary to go out and shoot and kill animals. All I heard was we've been doing it for thousands of years. So what? That doesn't make it necessary. That doesn't make it moral. That doesn't make it like you need to. So I haven't heard anything that you need to do this. And just because you think that we're the apex predator for thousands of years, again, doesn't mean that we need to do that, need to continue that. All right, hey, thanks for coming on. Thanks for watching. If you are interested in dropping a comment, I'll post it and respond to it, no matter how ridiculous it is. You know, drop a comment. I'll post it. I'll respond to it. And then also, if you're willing to come on and discuss live, I got about half hour or so, able to have a chat, to discuss, to debate, whatever you want to call it. But until then, until I get somebody, I'm responding to Armand82638, who dropped a few comments to me today. I asked them to come on to discuss, and they're long comments, so it's like, you know, it's hard for me to talk about it all. It's hard for me to post it, number one, but I'm doing my best. You know, I'm doing my best. Okay, so that's his first comment. Armand82638 said the same thing. We've been doing it for thousands of years, and then saying it, you know, the deers will starve to death in the wild or get terrible disease. I mean, if that's what happens in nature, that's what happens in nature. You know, but we shouldn't get to decide like, oh, this deer is just unlucky. He called it unlucky. The deer did nothing wrong. He knew that, but the deer is just unlucky to just cross paths with you. And so for you to shoot and kill it, come on. Come on, Armand. Come on, Armand. That's not what we want. All right, so that's Armand's comment there. We're discussing it fine right here. I keep deciding to switch the topic. I lose track of his. I got so many comments on this one channel, or on this. Oh, here we go. So where's? Let me pick another one for him. Let me pick another one. Yeah, he dropped a lot of comments here. He says, seems like you haven't made a single valid point this entire time. Just been asking questions using your own ignorance as your crutch. I haven't need because I want to still have protein and not rely on disgusting factory farming. I want to eat animals that lived a happy life. Oh, here's another one. Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot. So I'd rather have a conversation. It'd make it easier for me. But this is what I'm resorting to. This is what I have resorted to. All right, let me try to okay, so let me bring this one on 614. This one's the newest one. All right, we have extreme natural instinct that make us natural hunters. What what hunting what natural hunter instincts do we have? We've been natural hunters since the existence of humans. Literally every biological trait points to us being biological hunters. We have longer arms that were adapted so that we could throw spears and draw bows. They were invented. Like, that's not natural. What? Act like we were just born being able to throw spears and draw bows. What? These are inventions. Better, we have long legs so that we could persistent hunt and chase down animals until they were too tired to get away from us. Show me where you chase down a deer or any animal. An animal will outrun you. And again, like, you're talking about using weapons. What, like, use your claws. Like, that's natural. We have extreme efficient lungs that allow us to run for longer distances than other animals. All of these combined make us natural predators. Man, Armand82638 is super confused. Like, you go out and use your natural instincts your natural ability to go down and hunt a lion or a tiger or a bear or even a deer, right? Like you're using a weapon. You're using a weapon. That's not fair. Is that fair? That's not fair. Confused. All right. Man, this one got a lot of comments on here and he dropped a lot. People, oh look, here we go. I love when people do this. I love when Armand, and by the way, I'm responding to Armand the whole time here. Unless somebody wants to come on or drop a comment for me to respond to. But Armand's getting this. Armand's getting all my comments today because he dropped a lot of them. All right. Let me put this one in here. Let me get rid of this guy. Let me move this here. Okay. So here's Armand. Armand says people who live in Alaska and the South that don't earn much money and live a substance lifestyle. Okay, Armand. I love when people do this. Do you live in Alaska? Do you live in Alaska? And just because people live on islands, I'm receiving more stuff here. Just because just because they just because they do it doesn't mean that makes it right for you. Just because, right? Like that's not what we're talking about. What does finish mean? I don't know what that means. Um so yeah, Armand, come on, man. And they live a substance lifestyle. Do you live a substance lifestyle? Do you live in Alaska? And the answer is no. Absolutely have a necessary need to, and what's wrong about using hunting to stop reliance on factory farming? Okay, here's why. Here's why, because killing animals when it's unnecessary is wrong. That's why. You don't need to rely on factory farming. You don't need to rely on hunting either. You can choose to eat plants instead. So stop saying it's either factory farming or hunting. You can do neither. You don't need either one. Either one is wrong. You're killing an animal when it's not necessary. I'd feel much better killing a deer on my own, butchering it on my own, and then eating it rather than buying one steak from a store that a cow died to produce that was abused his whole life and never saw sunshine. Cool. Like that's great. But what about neither of those options? What about not contributing to killing a deer who did nothing wrong, or not contributing to a cow that died with, to buy one steak? You don't need to eat a steak. You're only doing it for taste and your pleasure, or that's what you're used to. But get out of this like you need to hunt and get your own meat versus you need to buy it from a store and that was factory farmed. You don't have to contribute to either. What, like, who said that you need to do one or the other? You can choose to eat plants. You can choose to do none of those options and choose plants at a store. You can grow your own plants. You can go out and pick your own plant. I mean, there are tons of options. Hey, if you're watching, you drop a comment, I'll post it. I'll respond to it if you are interested in discussing on live. I got about 25 minutes or so. I'll come on and or you can come on and have a discussion. Ask me questions. I'll bring you on. Right now, I'm hotspotting, waiting for my son to get out of practice. And in the meantime, I'm responding to Armand 82638, who dropped a lot of comments today. And then when I ask him to come on live and talk, or let's schedule a time to discuss this very long responses, he chose not to. He said we're having a good discussion here, and I keep asking questions, which again, like I'm not really interested in typing all this out. I'd rather talk about it. But Armand has I'm continuing to respond to him here. So all right, so and I'm going in order of Armand's responses here. So bear with me as I save and then bring it up. I airdrop it to my Mac. And it's a little delayed here. All right, next up. That's not it, is it? Yeah, there we go. All right, I haven't need because I want to still have protein. All right, another common misconception here. All plants have protein. You don't need to eat meat or animals to get your protein. All plants have protein, and there's tons of plants that have a lot of protein. See, it's all delayed. All delayed here with the airdrop through my phone. I think because I'm hotspotting. Not sure. But, and not rely on disgusting factory forming. I think he meant farming there. I want to eat animals that live and live the happy life. Another like oxymoron here, right? We don't need to eat animals. We don't need to eat animals and then live the happy life. Why not let them continue to live a happy life in the wild, doing their thing? Why do we want to take that away from them? That to me doesn't make a lot of sense. We want to end their happy life, even though it's not necessary, and then or rely on like think that they have to rely on disgusting factory farming. You don't have to choose to contribute to kill animals, and you don't have to kill animals yourself because you can get the protein. See, this is where if Armand truly thinks that like to get his protein, and I think people think this. So Armand, you are wrong. And I think a lot of people think this is that like meat is protein. This is one of the comments I responded to in one of my workouts this year is meat is protein. Meat is not protein. Meat is the flesh of an animal. Sure, it has protein in the flesh, but so does plants. And if you don't think that plants have protein, you're wrong. And if you don't think that you can get all the protein that you need from plants, you're wrong again. Like, so this is something that I think people are stuck on. This is something that I think people need to understand. This is something that absolutely you need to truly understand this. All plants have protein. There's not anything in meat that you need or that you couldn't get from plants or that you need to be strong, fit, and healthy. I want to be clear about that. I think that so many people do not even think that that's possible, which is again, that's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate. Then he goes on and says, seems like I haven't made a single valid point this entire time. I'm not sure. I hope he sees this. In fact, I should tag him. I might have to tag him. Make sure he sees all this. Then I said, would you agree that you don't need to hunt for survival anymore? I don't think anybody would disagree with that. Nobody is hunting for survival. No hunter out there, no hunter that comes across this YouTube video or this channel is hunting for survival. Nobody. Nobody. It's 2026. And if you are, you definitely don't have internet access. And you're not on this YouTube channel for sure. Then I asked him how God would kill an animal. No response. I said, how many animals have you killed that instantly died and felt no pain or suffering? A lot of hunters think that like they're doing a good thing and then that their shot just kills the deer instantly and they have no, no pain and suffering. Now I have seen videos of sharpshooters or people taking out animals or cows. That's on a farm though. They square up, they shoot them, I want to say in the head, and they instantly drop. It's not through the heart. And I don't think any hunter is that good to where they shoot them through the heart and they'd cause no pain and suffering and they instantly die. Like every hunter that I know is chasing the deer, or after they shoot, they go and look at the blood and try to look for the blood trail to find the deer. And the deer end up running for a long time until it died of blood loss. You can't think that that's a pleasant death, being shot and bleeding out. Uh, doesn't live in Alaska. He says, nobody claimed that they needed to hunt deer for survival. People hunt deer for other reasons that are still absolutely necessary. Hunting from purely survival is not the only valid reason. And if you were educated, you would know you would still starve to death if you relied on here, because they have no fat. They can't support you in the survival situation. You would need at least a deer and a bear to survive a survival situation. Only relying on meat. People hunt deer because in places like the South, many people live on very rural homestead and don't earn much income. So they pay the price of one bullet to get a necessary protein source for months, instead of wasting $50 on gas and then spending another $200 at the grocery store. Again, not necessary. Not necessary at all. Also, these animals need to be hunted to control their population, especially because of urban sprawl. Again, this is talking about controlling the population. It's not necessary. And there's other means and ways to control the population. This is just one of the laws that people think that it's good to go ahead and shoot and kill animals as a way to 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 remove or to reduce the population. You're not making any arguments. You're not making any points. You're using your ignorance as your argument. Yep, that's me. And then that's not what we were talking about. You were arguing that we are not natural hunters upon the assumption that we do not have hunting instinct, which we actually do. This is another example of using how are we natural hunters? This is why I want to have a conversation with him. This is Why do you feel the need to switch the topic of your conversation? Stay on topic, defend your claims and points. Don't just swivel to another question. You kill deer only to control their population. Here we go. Here we go. This one, I didn't see this one 12 hours ago. He made a lot of comments here. He made a lot of comments. Made a lot of comments here. This one's a good one. Get ready for this one. I love when people bring this one up. God killed many animals in the Bible. He killed fish, he killed goat, he killed Egyptian geese. God is not against killing animals for your food. Armand, 82638. Can you show me? And I've asked, how would God kill an animal? How would God kill an animal? He killed fish, he killed goat. Show me. Show me where he killed fish. Show me where he killed goat. Show me where he killed Egyptian geese. And so God is not against killing animals for your food. I mean, what God would create that and want or kill the animals for your food when you don't have to? Again, this is where I think that we need to understand that you don't have to. If you can survive on plants, why would we cause pain and suffering to animals for just our taste and pleasure? Because it's not necessary. So that's like graping for pleasure. Like, is that a good thing? Graping for pleasure, for your pleasure, your selfishness, is that acceptable? Is that morally acceptable? He also says, thou shalt not kill. I don't know, like, what else do we need to understand? Why are we killing animals that have an experience? Like, are we just thinking that like they're just animals? And again, this is like speciesism is the start of all isms. Racism, sexism. It's saying that, our species can do whatever we want to other species. Just like our race, or a race that you think we can do whatever we want, or we treat other races lower than us. We treat sexism. We treat other sexes lower than us, than our sex. Like, is that acceptable? How, like, if we can't even treat animals with respect, and they've done nothing to us, why would we kill a goat? Why? What did that goat do? Are we sacrificing that goat? Are we sacrificing the goat? Why are we killing Egyptian geese? Why Egyptian geese? Why not American geese? Why not Canada geese? Is it because they're protected? Legality and law doesn't equal morality. That's another thing that we have to understand. So how can God is for killing animals for your food? How? That's like backwards. Backwards, Armand. Backwards. Let me see. Okay, 98%. I've only had one animal that suffered, and I put it down with one shot to the head directly after I realized that it was still breathing. Must felt really good about that. So again, why? Did that animal need to suffer? Did this animal need to suffer? This animal didn't need to suffer. You're using a straw man argument. You read over many of my comments that said otherwise. Why are you being willfully ignorant? I gave you 4 different reasons: population control, subsistence, aka not relying on tortured factory farm meat, also to save money. People that live in rural areas that have just been exorbitant amounts of money to get to places like grocery stores that might seem easy to get to for you. Again, Armand, you're not these people. You're not one of these people. You're not. You have YouTube. You have internet. Come on, man. This is just not the case. And that's not the point of hunting. Whether the animal suffers or not, it's putting food for a year on my table for the price of a bullet instead of having to waste $50 on gas and spending enormous amounts of money at the grocery store. Ha ha. Laughing. And that population is getting managed, which is needed, whether you want to believe it or not. Every single wildlife biologist disagrees with you. Oh, man. You know, I just like we think we think that it's like we tell ourselves that it's necessary to kill animals. We're telling ourselves that it's necessary. We're convincing ourselves. Wildlife biologists are saying, like, what's going to happen? They're going to take over the whole world, or are the deer going to take over the whole world if we stop hunting? No, that's not. We find a different way to manage it. But just to go out and kill animals, come on, man. And I use a 300 Win Mag cartridge, which basically rupture both lungs, explodes the heart, and shatters the spine with one shot almost 100% of the time. They die the instant the bullet hits them. Wow. You responded to other comments of mine talking about other reasons that I hunt deer. You know that it's not only for population, so why are you even asking the question? There you go, changing the topic of the subject again. You asked how God would kill an animal, and then instead of staying on the track of the conversation, he's got 4 different points here. Your strategy is quickly switch the topic. It's really not. It's you want to you, and then I asked him to discuss. We're discussing it fine just right here. clearly not. If you're upset about me changing the subject, I actually didn't see all these comments, and it's really difficult to respond to like one comment and then another comment, and then so it's much easier to have a discussion with all of it. But if you don't want to do that, that's okay. I'll do it here. So, and then it doesn't like, I don't respond, and it doesn't tag it out like it's the response with the comment. It's just all the way at the bottom. So, again, Armand is not going to change his mind. He really believes that hunting is necessary and he's doing a good thing. But he's not looking at the animal's perspective. And if he is, he's saying he would rather the animal, or the animal would rather to die, instantly with, say, a 300 Win mag that explodes the heart. I mean, like, either way, we're ending that animal's life, and that animal didn't need to die. Armand can find a different way to provide food for his family instead of killing animals. But that's not the way he was brought up. That's not something that he wants to do. Look at Armand. He's commenting now. Well, now it's necessary to kill them because you made them self-reliant on humans, basically ridding them of their instinct. Armand's on now. Armand is confused. Armand is one of these hunters where it's, I'm going to say Armand, he's putting himself living in, a remote place where he justifies, putting food on the table with, one deer and a bear or whatever type of animal that he shoots and kills. And that's what he's kind of laying on. There's my oldest son just pulled up to practice. They got practice after. I'm waiting for my little guy to come. There goes Lane. Going to practice. When they're shot, they don't suffer. They die from instantly most of the time. And with heart and lung shots, the pain is masked with adrenaline to where the animal feels little to no pain during being shot. Again, these animals don't need to be shot at all. They don't need to be shot at all. I think this is where it doesn't, yes, in order for it to be harvested so that its meat could be utilized. Dude, you are making your dog forcibly vegan. That's so bad for them. What is wrong with you? Oh man. This is where the discussions are helpful. Respond to a lot of comments. But what up, dude? How you doing? Good. Getting after it? Yeah. Let's do it. All right. Son's practice is over maybe 5 minutes. Yeah, again, this comment thread is like I have 61 replies, more than that. A question for hunters. This is the one. That have hunted before. Please tell me. Oh, let me not get kicked off for having that background music. But yeah, they're responding to comments but not jumping on here, man. I don't understand that. You know? But yeah, Armand is really set on, hunting and thinking it's necessary. And I haven't heard it's necessary. It's not necessary. He's not hunting for survival. He's trying to justify it with all these reasons that they're not good enough reasons to take an animal's life from them. It's their life. Why do we think that we need to? Why do we do that? It's what we're taught. We're raised that way. Other people around us are doing it, and it's lawful. So that's all I got. And it's all I got. Nobody wanted to come on and talk, but Armand, I think I responded to all of Armand's comments. Oh, here we go, Armand again. He thinks 2 minutes. Yeah, they're doing well. I said the animals are doing well. This is he responded to where we're out feeding. We give bird seed to birds. like yeah, we're it's crazy. We need to leave them alone so they can forage for their own food. What? Because they're relying on you for food, basically getting rid of their instinct. Why? If we don't give them food, they're going to find their other food. They're not relying on us as wild animals yourself domesticating them. Nope, not really. We're just giving them food. That's very harmful to animals. No, I don't think so. I actually think that it's actually good for the animals because they're eating. They're supposed to be wild and rely on foraging for their food. We just got it backwards, man. So I think we're supposed to be out there killing the animals. Yeah. These animals no longer know how to forage because you're providing all the food to them. This is why wildlife biologists strictly tell you not to feed wildlife. So, do wildlife biologists tell you to shoot and kill animals? Yes, they are. What does it say? Yes, they are too. See, I can't even know. I don't even know where he responded to. Yes, they are what? Tough for me to follow Armand. Oh, dogs are considered facultative carnivores. So my response back to him is, how did my dog live to be 15 and over 9 years plant-based on a plant-based diet? Again, unbelievable. It's like asking, do veggies need to be picked at all? I mean, how am I going to eat, bro? I'm not vegan because I don't hate myself. So, yeah, I ain't going to eat store-bought shit that are killed 10 times more cruel. So, yeah, riddle me that. Do veggies need to be picked? They could feel pain too, no? Unbelievable, man. The comments people get, man. People are just not talk about being educated. Do the research, man. And again, if you're stuck on the hunting thing and you think God hunted and you think God thinks it's okay and wants you to kill animals for food, you know, I got nothing for you, man. And you're not you're not open to it. It's not the right time for you. You just think that animals are here for us and not with us, which is, I think, a big problem, big issue that we come across. So, all right, I'm gonna hop off here. We'll see if I keep responding to Armand. But Armand, if you're out there, man, I think I responded to all your comments that you got. Keep coming with it. And then True Blue Bloke, kind of the same type of mentality there on, but now saying, do veggies need to be picked? They could feel pain too. Who knows? Again, plants are not sentient. They don't have an experience. They don't have any pain receptors. Let's not use that as an excuse anymore. And that's like a justification on why we continue to kill and eat animals. Come on. And then getting mad and saying that I'm taking the natural instincts away from these animals who need to forage for food. That's why we shouldn't feed them. Like, so we shouldn't feed the homeless either. Like, man, I think, I think just people are disconnected with the animals, man. And, it's kind of, it's, it's sad to see, people like Armand, um, and I just think it's the way we were taught and brought up that, thinking that just animals are just animals, right? They're not our species, so we could just kill them. We could just kill and do whatever we want to them. So, you know, it's and there's a lot of people like Armand out there. So, I don't blame Armand. Armand, it's not your fault. It's what you were taught. It's the way you were brought up. And, you're set in your ways. You're set in your ways. I think one day you'll maybe connect with the animals, but I'm hopeful. But it's gonna take some real, a true 360, man, because you just are set on, God kill animals. We're doing population control. Otherwise you're actually doing them a favor. This is another one I hear, like, we're doing a good thing. We're killing them is a good thing. Like, feeding them is not a good thing. Feeding them and taking care of them and protecting them is not a good thing, because that they're going to lose their natural instinct. So what we should do is shoot and kill them, because otherwise they're going to starve and or get eaten alive. And it's a way better death to be shot and killed instantly, or 98% of the time to kill them instantly versus letting them live. Like, what if somebody did that to you? What if someone said, you know what? Like, instead of this painful death and we're just going to kill you. Boom. End your life prematurely when you were just enjoying it. You were out in the field, you were eating, you were playing with your family, you were out there with your family doing your natural thing in the woods, and then boom, you get shot. Make it make sense, man. But in your mind, it makes sense to you. All right, that's enough there. I'm out. This call it a successful session. Nobody came on, no comments, but we responded to Armand. So we'll get somebody on the channel. Has he responded anymore? He got one. Life length does not determine quality of life or the health of the dog. Armand's all over the place, man. That's all right. Maybe I'll get him on a discussion. But he likes this commenting back and forth. Hard for me to respond to everything and put get some context around it. What up, dude?
Good.
All right, we're out. Psh. All right, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.